I never let my introverted side hold me back from success. And I'll explain how you can too. Picture this. I'm standing backstage at a local conference, clutching a crumpled note card with my speech outline. The Emerging Leaders event of the year is about to start, and I'm up next, and I am frozen. Not because the room's chilly, though. Let's be honest. I didn't dress for this AC. But because my brain is a war zone, one voice is shouting, "This is your moment. Nail this talk." Wow, the crowd like your TED Talk royalty. Another voice whispers, "You know this isn't you. You're gonna stand there, stumble over words, and leave feeling like a fraud." And the critic, it's ruthless. You signed up for this, genius. If you choke now, you're just proving you're not cut out for the spotlight. So what did I do? I stood there for what felt like 45 minutes, watching other speakers stride onto the stage like they were born for it, while I was just stuck. If you're an introvert, you know this feeling. That gut-wrenching moment when you should be ready to shine in front of a crowd, but every fiber of your being is screaming, "Run, run away." Hey, welcome to Thynkit, where we unpack mindset, psychology, and all the quirky habits that make us, well, us. Today I'm sharing the one psychology hack that changed everything for me, and how you cannot just survive public speaking, but thrive. Without betraying who you are, let's dive in. All right, here's the menu. And no, I didn't bring snacks, but I did bring science. Today, we're covering the introvert's impossible choice. Why public speaking feels like a betrayal of your soul. Free traits theory, how to act like an extrovert without, becoming one. The 90-minute rule, why less is more when it comes to social stamina. How to speak like the best version of you, not some fake, over-the-top version. And if you stick around to the end, they'll tell you why introverts are like smartphones. Part 1. The introvert's dilemma. It's not you, it's the system. Let's clear the air right off the bat. Introversion isn't shyness. It's not stage fright. And it's definitely not being bad at people. Introversion is about how you recharge your batteries. Extroverts, they get their juice from being around people, feeding off the crowd's energy. Introverts, we recharge in quiet, alone. Or maybe with one trusted person and a good book. Think of it like this. Extroverts' nervous systems are like more stimulation. Yes, please. Crank up the volume. Introverts' nervous systems. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's enough input. Can we find a quiet corner to process this? Neither is better or worse. They're just different operating systems. But here's the kicker. The professional world. It's built by extroverts for extroverts. The person who commands the stage, thinks out loud, thrives in the spotlight. They're the ones getting promoted. They're the ones invited to give keynotes. They're the ones called natural leaders. Meanwhile, introverts get told, come out of your shell, be more charismatic, fake it till you make it. And that creates what I call the introvert's impossible choice. Option A, stay true to yourself, avoid public speaking, and risk being overlooked for opportunities. Option B, force yourself to act extroverted, burn out, and leave the stage feeling like you've betrayed your own soul. For years, I thought those were my only options. I tried option B a lot, pushed through the exhaustion, mimicked the high-energy delivery I saw others pull off, and walked off stage feeling drained, inauthentic, and not myself. Option A, that felt like giving up. Like success wasn't meant for people wired like me. Standing backstage that day, something clicked. What if there was a third option? One that honored my introverted nature and my ambitions? That's when I stumbled across free traits theory, and it was a total game changer. Part 2. Free traits theory. How to stretch without breaking. This gem comes from Dr. Brian Little, psychologist who studies why people sometimes act completely out of character. His big idea, free traits theory, here's the gist. We all have biogenic traits, our natural, hardwired tendencies. For me, that's introversion. I'd rather have a deep, one-on-one conversation than stand in front of a crowd. But we also have free traits. Behaviors we can adopt, even if they go against our nature, when something matters deeply to us. For example, I'm introverted, but I care passionately about sharing ideas and inspiring others. So when I'm giving a talk or presenting with purpose, I'm not faking it. I'm borrowing extroversion as a tool to serve a goal I care about. But here's the catch. Using free traits burns energy. Dr. Little's research shows that when introverts act extroverted, it's like running a high-intensity app on a low-battery phone. It works for a bit, but you will crash if you don't recharge. That's why forced extroversion feels so draining. It's not that introverts can't do it, we can. But we need restorative niches. It's time and space to return to our authentic selves and recharge. Studies back this up. A 2016 study in the Journal of Personality found that introverts who pushed themselves to act extroverted for too long reported higher stress and lower life satisfaction. But here's the flip side. When introverts use free traits strategically for short bursts tied to meaningful goals, they perform just as well as extroverts without the burnout. So, standing backstage, I had a light bulb moment. What if I didn't have to give a high-energy, crowd-pleasing performance for 45 minutes? What if I could be strategically extroverted for, say, a 20-minute talk, then recharge? No guilt, no pressure, just purpose. Part 3. The Introvert's Public Speaking Revolution, a 4-step plan. Here's the exact plan I used that day, and what's worked for me ever since. Step 1. Redefine success. Instead of wow the entire audience with charisma, I set a new goal. Share one meaningful idea that resonates with at least a few people. Introverts don't win at flashiness, we win at depth. So, I leaned into my strengths, delivering thoughtful insights, connecting through stories, and speaking with authenticity. Step 2. Set a time limit. I gave myself a focused 20-minute talk, followed by 10 minutes of Q&A. Then I stepped away. No guilt. No, I should mingle longer. This kept me present and energized and not drained. A 2019 study in personality and social psychology bulletin found that introverts perform best in social settings when they cap their exposure to avoid cognitive overload. Step 3. Plan your recovery. I built in a restorative niche. Quiet time alone in a nearby cafe after the talk. No social media to clog my brain. My favorite playlist on the drive home, dubstep or 90s R&B. Recovery wasn't an afterthought. It was part of the plan. Dr. Little's work emphasizes that these niches are critical. For introverts to sustain free trait behavior without crashing, Step 4. Prepare your toolkit. Instead of winging a high-energy performance, I prepped authentic talking points. Start with a personal story to ground the talk. Focus on one key idea, backed by a clear example. End with a question to engage the audience. What's one idea you're taking away today? These weren't rigid scripts, they were frameworks that felt me curious, thoughtful, real. A 2020 study in social psychological and personality science found that authentic, story-driven communication leads to better audience engagement than generic high-energy delivery. Breath-long pause. That talk was the best I'd ever given. I connected with a few audience members who reached out afterward, including a mentor who became a collaborator, and I left energized, not empty. Because I wasn't pretending, I was expanding. On purpose. Part 4. Why this works, the science of authentic confidence? So why is this approach better than fake it till you make it? Because it respects how your brain is wired. You're leveraging your strengths, deep thinking, authentic storytelling, genuine connection. You're avoiding cognitive overload by setting clear time limits. You're aligning with your values, authenticity, meaning, depth, and it's sustainable because you prioritize recovery. A 2017 study in the Leadership Quarterly found that authentic confidence, acting in alignment with your values, leads to stronger professional outcomes than performative extroversion. Here's the deeper truth. When you stop fighting your nature, you unlock authentic confidence. Forced extroversion feels like anxiety. Am I loud enough? Do I sound boring? When can I get off this stage? But when you act from your strengths, stretching just enough, you feel confident because you're being your best self. Audiences can feel that. Authentic confidence is magnetic in a way fake extroversion never will be. Your introversion isn't a flaw to fix. It's not a weakness to overcome. It's a superpower when you use it strategically. You don't need to become an extrovert. You just need to borrow extroversion like a tool when it serves your purpose. And then, go back to your quiet, your depth, your truth, because the world doesn't need more high-energy showmanship. It needs more real connection, more thoughtful ideas, more people who make others feel inspired. And that's not extroversion. That's you, at your best. Next time you're backstage, feeling unsure about stepping into the spotlight or grabbing attention for any reason, remember, you don't have to choose between authenticity and success. You can have both. Just need the right strategy. If this hit home, hit that like button. And subscribe to Thynkit if you want more conversations like this. And drop a comment below. What's your go-to recovery move after a draining social event? Mine's a long walk with no music, just silence, just me. Until then, be kind to your energy. It's not limited, it's just different. See you next time.